Hey everyone, my name is Kit Cabello. I'm with Hard Lens Media, and today I have a very special guest. Her name is Dr. Laura Chamberlain. For our viewers and subscribers, can you please introduce yourself because they don't know who you are, and I know you're with a lot of organizations.
Okay. My name is Dr. Laura Chamberlain, and I think for this purposes, I'm also an environmentalist, and a general progressive anti-war activist. But I have also been, for 20 years, a serious election integrity activist.
Election integrity.
Because, Chicago's not known for its election fraud for nothing, and we even installed JFK, right? Via election fraud in Chicago. Well, it hasn't stopped. It hasn't stopped. And I do want to talk about the Super Tuesday fraud, too,
Good.
right?
Yeah, let's bring that up. But first, let's talk about Illinois.
Okay, great. So I tell Kit all the time, there's 50 ways to steal an election, and they're all displayed in Chicago at different times. So there's some what we call street level election fraud, and those usually are in the aldermanic elections, the municipal elections, and then there's mid-level election fraud, and then there's the big whoppers, okay? And the mid-level fraud is like vote-by-mail scams and like what Rahm Emanuel used to do, right? He used to send out applications for vote-by-mail ballots, and the applications would he would send them to the voters, and they would send them back to Rahm. Not to the election division, but to Rahm.
Oh, but I'm sure Rahm Emanuel is a man of integrity. He would never do anything wrong.
Well, I hate to tell you, some people never got their vote-by-mail ballot. So, so that's a mid-level scam. The real big rip in Chicago and in suburban Cook County now are on the electronic machines and the central tabulators.
Right.
On the night of the election, okay? They literally just run high-level electronic algorithm on the central tabulators and flip the votes. So we have caught this red-handed. In 2016, we caught the Chicago Board of Elections flipping votes from Bernie to Hillary on machine after machine after machine, and they were the early voting machines, okay?
Right.
And now everything has gotten worse in Chicago and suburban Cook County because they got rid of those older machines, and now they have newer machines that can rip the vote even slicker and faster.
Okay, what is that? What is that exactly?
Okay, can everybody see this? Which one should I go to?
That's your camera right there.
Okay, so this is a barcode, right? Or a QR code. It's a QR code. This is a proprietary QR code that's owned by Dominion Voting System, the same electronic voting machine company that programs their electronic voting machines in Serbia. Did you know that?
Okay.
They have Serbian programmers that put the code in. And so this is going to be for early vote, on early voting, in the entire county of Cook County, Chicago and suburban Cook County. You can only vote on a machine. There are no paper ballots during early voting.
What about on March 17th? Though?
March 17th. Okay, so that's my flip over. But let me stick with this. So early voting is all on the machines. We have all new machines in Chicago and suburban Cook County, and these machines, you go up and you vote on them. It's like a big tablet, like your iPhone, but only bigger. You vote on them. It prints out a piece of paper. See, they got it that we've been saying, paper ballot, paper ballot, paper ballot. But they're super slick. So it prints up a piece of paper. It's just an 8.5 by 11 piece of paper, okay? Gets printed up. Your choices are right there. So it seems like, oh, look, my choices are here. President, Bernie, all your choices are printed up, but they also stamp a barcode, a proprietary barcode on that piece of paper, and that's what's counted. Not your choices printed up, but this. And there's no way of knowing what's in here. There's no over-the-counter machine or smartphone app. Exactly.
Okay.
The Chicago Board of Elections even told me that they can't check and see what's in this barcode independently of the Dominion machines.
If people wanted to learn more about this, especially to our national audience, because they're not in Chicago, but if they want to see, where can I find this online?
Right.
Is there anything
Right.
of this sourcing that's online?
Right.
Where it's at?
You listen. If you search barcodes and QR codes on the ballot and ballot marking devices, you will find a number of papers written up. Like the computer scientists, experts, and the election integrity experts have all been all over this. But this election, 1 out of 5 Americans will vote on a machine that either does this, prints up a proprietary QR code, or puts a barcode on your ballot. It's one of the two. ES&S, one of the other companies, they put a barcode, a proprietary barcode. Dominion puts a proprietary QR code. And I really want to highlight this. There is no way for us to take in a smartphone app or they have QR code readers. No over-the-counter QR code readers or smartphone apps can give us what's in this. Wow. The only thing that can give us what they say is in this is another Dominion machine.
So we got brand new electronic machines that are right now, when they print out that code, we don't know where our vote goes. So how is this being allowed to happen? When was this starting to be implemented? So our viewers and subscribers know, because Illinois is a key state. There's about 155, I believe, delegates that are available in the state for the March 17th primary.
Right. Well, I want you to know, last night we were slaughtered, and we highly suspect election fraud all over the place. And it's because, like South Carolina, had the barcode ballot marking devices.
How wide are they?
1 out of 5 voters across America will vote on a machine that either gives them a phony baloney QR code or a barcode that's proprietary.
Wow.
So they've replaced all of the old hackable machines with new hackable machines that are even harder to detect.
Okay.
That are even harder to detect.
All right. And in regards towards, any form of election integrity, what is being done to stop this, at least here in Illinois, if there is time?
There is no time, but I will tell you what our recommendation is. Here in Chicago and suburban Cook County and in all of Illinois, there are different machines for different counties in Illinois. So you can go to verifiedvoting.org, verifiedvoting.org, and you can go to Illinois, go to the verifier. Go hit the tab verifier, then go to the state, Illinois, and then it'll open up to a state, and you can hit on your county. And then it'll open up to the machinery that you have. Okay? And there are a lot of different counties that have either Dominion system or the ES&S that South Carolina, that just ripped South Carolina. There's, look and see what you've got. If you have a ballot marking device with a phony baloney QR code or a phony baloney barcode, then you must vote on election day on a real paper ballot, period.
All right, and there's no debate, no conversation about it. So,
well, I will tell you this: we understand the coronavirus is an issue. Okay, right now we only have four cases in Chicago.
We actually call it the beerdemic.
Okay,
on
the
show.
beerdemic. Okay, that's fine. That's great. So we only have 4 cases. So we don't have to be worried about really massive infection just yet. So what we are saying, if you are really worried, then right now go on the Chicago elections or the suburban Cook County elections and order your vote by mail paper ballot right now. The deadline is March 12th.
Right.
Okay, so if you're really worried about the coronavirus, if you're okay, you're cool, then we want you to go on election day and we want you to vote on a paper ballot. And we do not want you to use these machines. These new machines they look really fancy, okay?
And they look like they're legitimate.
They look like they're legitimate. There's a fancy tablet. Don't do it, okay? Don't do it. Ask for a paper ballot, hand mark that paper ballot, because the other reason is we go into the audits and we welcome anybody. Any Illinois registered voter can come into the audits with us, the post-election audits in Chicago and suburban Cook County. And we give you credentials, we train you. And in Chicago, it's going to start March 24th, so after the election. And we try, like or like hell, to count as many votes off the paper ballot as we can.
Right.
And there's no counting it off of Yes.
Now, there is an issue because the thing is with the Illinois Democratic Party, similar to like how the Democratic Party is, on a whole, it's all establishment. It's all them working together. They're all in for their pick choice. It looks like Biden's look like their
There's
choice.
No question.
So in regards to this, what are some of the issues that Bernie Sanders and his campaign are going to have to deal with when they come here to Illinois? What kind of pushback are they going to get from not only from the Illinois Democratic Party, but the Cook County Democrats, the Chicago Democrats, and making sure that the votes for Bernie are, recognized and that there's some form of election integrity.
We have point blank asked Bernie for the campaign for election lawyers. Hire some election lawyers and keep them on after you go. Okay, that's what we didn't. We caught the Chicago Board of Elections red-handed in 2016. Red-handed. About 20,000 votes were flipped from Bernie to Hillary, and we caught them red-handed. And we had loads and loads of people that would go to court and testify. So we had taken them into the audit, and they saw them covering up. They saw them erasing Bernie votes and adding Hillary. They saw them write the Bernie votes on Post-it notes and throw them away. We saw them roll past the Bernie votes so they wouldn't have to call them out. I mean, we had a very serious case. We lasted in court for over a year and a half, but our money ran out, and and it was becoming moot. The judge was saying, so this was a year and a half after the primaries. Okay, Trump was already in office. So, but if Bernie's campaign would have come in on our challenge, and if they would have given us election lawyer right off the bat, we would have been ahead of the game, and we could have won that sucker. And we were headed for a federal monitor on the Chicago Board of Elections.
Is there any chance or opportunity for there to be a federal monitor for this election cycle for Illinois? So
you have to sue for that.
Okay.
There's no dial a federal monitor, okay? I don't got an 800 number for you. You got to sue for that. You got to prove it in court, and then the judge has to, make a court request a decision.
Now, your organization, Clean Count Cook County, has done a lot of good work in the past, especially for the midterm election cycle and the 2019 municipal election cycle. So for our viewers and subscribers, can you please explain Clean Count Cook County about what you guys do specifically and what you guys have done in the past?
Right. So Clean Count Cook County, what we want all the eligible voters to be able to vote, and we want their votes to be counted accurately and reported as such. And we do a number of things depending on what type of election it is, okay? So we train poll monitors, poll watchers. We train candidates, poll watchers, so that they're at a higher level. Okay, we did that. We openly send out invitations to all of the candidates to have their poll watchers well trained, because sometimes for candidates, the poll watchers on election day, they're not trained enough, and so then we've seen fistfights between campaign workers and between election judges and poll watchers. Okay, I one time I saw a gun drawn. Wow. We've seen money traded hands in the polling places. It's bad. It's bad. So we train poll watchers to the letter of the law, okay? The more you know the law, then the better you can scare the bejesus out of some of these political operatives that are pulling some of this BS on Election Day and around Election Day.
So now, again, you really unpacked a lot of information, especially in regards for early voting here in the state of Illinois.
Yeah.
Especially with the code that's put on there. I mean, you can print out a piece of paper, but as soon as the code's stamped on, it could basically say whatever they want.
They're counting your vote off of that.
Right.
So they are counting your vote off of that, and you cannot verify what's in that. Right. So Dominion voting systems could have programs running in their machine that would you might choose Bernie Sanders, and it might be printed out Biden.
Has there been any challenge, at least towards those codes, at least at I guess in court at all?
Well, not yet. Not yet. Not in Illinois. Not in Illinois. But I want you to know that we are fighting. We killed the bill. They wanted to rush through a bill in the fall session to make it legal to have these on the ballot and barcodes on the ballot. And we killed that bill. in the fall, but we didn't kill it completely. So please call your Illinois Rep and Senator, 1-217-782-2000, 1-217-782-2000, and ask them to vote no on SB 1863 and any other election bill, because they changed the numbers, any other election-related bill that will allow ballot marking devices to use proprietary QR codes or barcodes on their ballots to record and tally your vote. So it's not just, Lake County has this problem. There are other counties in Illinois that have this problem. That's why I sent you to verifiedvoting.org, where you can look up your state and then your county and find out what machinery you're using. Okay.
So to our viewers and subscribers, heads up. It's a serious issue.
Absolutely. And you can go to our website, Clean Count Cook County, cleancouncookcounty.org, and you can send me a note. Like if you don't understand what the verified voting is saying to you, or you can send me a note and I'll respond to you. And so this is a serious problem in many counties in Illinois. And right now we're saying don't early vote, don't vote on these machines, even if you are disabled or you are language challenged. We want their votes to be counted accurately as well. So we're recommending that those communities take a trusted friend or family member in with them on election day, and they can assist them with hand marking a real paper ballot. It's really important. And then you can go on cleancouncookcounty.org, and sign up, and we will take you in to the Chicago Board of Elections and the Cook County Board of Elections, their warehouses, for the post-election audits, and we will show you how the sausage is made.
Now, Dr. Laura Chamberlain, you also brought up something early on in this interview about what happened on Super Tuesday.
Yeah.
What were some of the election integrity issues for Super Tuesday, specifically for some states where miraculously Joe Biden was able to win a 9-state win?
Yeah. Okay. So first of all, number one, Warren really put a drag on Bernie. For sure. There's no question about it.
I think a lot of people will agree with
right,
that.
Exactly. So she must, I am not happy. You should have seen what I tweeted Warren last night 15 times. I was surprised the FBI wasn't, not that I threatened her physically, but I was really mad at her. So, if Warren wouldn't have been in the race, Sanders would have had even more delegates coming out of California. And one thing you might not know is that there's already right now, there's 144 more delegates coming out of California. They haven't finished the count in California. If Warren wasn't in the race, then in Texas has 69 delegates yet to be allotted. Okay, so there's still more delegates to be had. So just FYI, Bernie is... what is Bernie at for the total delegate count?
As it stands, when we checked on the show, he has about 501 delegates.
Right.
Joe Biden has about
566.
Yes.
Right. Okay. So he's 65 ahead, and there are over 300 delegates yet to be allotted in Super Tuesday states. So just take a deep breath. Take a deep breath, okay? I know it was really bad last night. I was crying myself, and I was screaming at my computer. We were doing screenshots of Texas, California, Massachusetts, and North Carolina of the results coming in, because on last Saturday for the South Carolina primaries, we caught Tom Steyer's votes going backwards for about 45 minutes. So if Biden stole votes in South Carolina, it was from Steyer.
Wow.
It was from Steyer. So
and he came in third place in that election too.
He came in third place, and so who you get to call? I've got these screenshots of Steyer going backwards, and he's out. He's not going to spend money to go and challenge the election. Challenging an election is very expensive, you guys. Typically in Chicago, it starts at $100,000, okay, and then goes up from there. So But because of that, we said, okay, we're going to take screenshots at the most vulnerable elections based on 2016 election manipulation and everything that we had. So we were taking screenshots. That means we're taking pictures of multiple sites where they're coming in with the official results, like the Secretary of State's site. And we are doing that, every 10 minutes, right, on multiple states, on multiple sites. And we're following all of the candidates forward, because just think of it yourself. Like South Carolina is a perfect example. If you're going to steal votes for Biden, you're not going to steal them from Bernie, that's going to stay in the race and is going to have election, lawyers. You're going to steal it from Steyer, because you're going to be able to force him out, and he's not going to stay in. He's not going to use his money to fight. So these are the sorts of things you gotta look at the schemes. Every election is a little different scheme. Okay, so we're following all of these candidates forward. And we're making sure that they are coming up sequentially. And I have to tell you, we're not done with that work. We took a lot of screenshots, so we're still doing it. Maybe midday tomorrow, we should have it all finished. And so then, and if we see anything, of course, we'll go to Bernie. And there's a number of really, really vulnerable states, okay? So
Illinois probably being one of them.
Yeah, definitely. Illinois is one of them. So I will read off you some states that in 2016, the exit polls showed Bernie winning by a far margin than the official results. That's a sign of fraud all over the world when that happens, but not in America, okay? So Arizona, Georgia, West Virginia, New York, South Carolina, Ohio, Mississippi, Texas, Tennessee, Massachusetts, Wisconsin, and Connecticut.
Let's not forget Illinois, too.
Right. Well, Illinois was a slightly different variety.
Yes.
Okay, so that's where exit polls showed Bernie winning by a large margin, okay? In Illinois, it was very county specific. It was very county specific. So Cook County, Chicago got hit bad, about 23,000 votes, flipped from Bernie to Hillary. And so there was a very specific election fraud footprint that we saw in 2016. And that was, as precincts got larger, Clinton's percentage of the vote got larger and larger and larger. If it was randomly, you would think that Bernie would be, as the precincts got larger. So as precincts go from 100 voters to 500 voters, okay, then Clinton's percentage went consistently up. If it was normal, some of the precincts would go for Bernie and some of them would go for Clinton. We wouldn't see an exact graph of a signature election manipulation. Wow. So as the precincts got larger, they stole more votes.
And that's how it's done.
That's how it's done. And they can do this very simply by just programming the central tabulator the night of the election. In large precincts, as the number of voters go up, then you go from flipping every fifth vote to every fourth vote, or every third vote, or even skipping, like every third vote, then move to every second vote, then move back down to every fourth vote. They're very, very, very sophisticated algorithms. And the only way we caught them, there's no other way but to catch them in the post-election audit.
Right. And I think right now, for our viewers, for a final note for this, especially for our Illinois audience, specific, and anyone to our national audience that's perhaps know anyone that lives in the state of Illinois, Chicago, Cook County. What can we do right now? Where can we go to really help out so that we make sure? And I'm going to take a quote from Nico Howe, so that we have election integrity.
Okay.
Election integrity. Okay. I know, foreign concept in the state, but election integrity in the state of Illinois when Bernie Sanders brings his campaign here.
So one thing for sure, I want to tell everybody: election integrity, real work for election integrity, work starts the day after the election and moves forward, okay? You cannot get it done in 2 days. It's too sophisticated. It's too high tech. But we're pretty on it. We caught him last time. And we lasted in court for a year and a half, okay? If we would have had more money right away and Bernie's campaign election lawyer right away, we would have brought them down, okay? So sign up to Clean Count Cook County. Come in to the post-election audits. Let us teach you how they make the sausage. Do not go on early vote, no matter what. And don't touch those machines.
Again, can you tell those machines what they are again?
They look like a tablet. Can I use your cell phone?
Absolutely.
Okay, so they look like a big cell phone. They're really nice and pretty, shiny, okay? Don't touch them. They have coronavirus all over them. And we want you to go on election day and vote on a paper ballot. That's everywhere in Illinois. On election day, you get a paper ballot. So throughout the state of Illinois, go and vote on a paper ballot, real hand-marked paper ballot. Everywhere else across America, figure out how you can vote on a paper ballot and do that. If it's vote by mail, then do that. In Illinois, we have paper ballots for vote by mail too. Okay, but the deadline is March 12th, so you're going to have to decide to do that. But there's some problems there. Some people don't get their vote by mail ballots, right? They don't get them in time. The vote by mail ballots in Illinois are not audited at all, so we can never see them. So that's the real big problem. But if you're worried about coronavirus, then get a vote by mail and do it today. And then so go on election day, vote on a paper ballot, and then sign up at cleancountcookcounty.org, and then come in to the post-election audits and let's catch their ass again.
That's a good note to end it on. Dr. Laura Chamberlain, thank you so much for being on the show.
Thank you.
This is Kit with Hard Lens Media. Look, Illinois is going to be a tough battleground state, and we all have to keep our eyes open because let's be real with it. Let's get ready for any type of election fraud. We got to make sure there's election integrity. As I always say in the show, know the rules and regulations of your state's primary laws. Know your rights as a voter. Let us all do we can to build a better future. Dr. Laura Chamberlain, thank you so much.
I washed my hands before that. Thank you so much.